Hey guys, this is the Smoking Anarchist. I'm just here to do a video review of NJOY e-cigarettes. Um, Now, before I do this review, I want to state that I'm coming from the perspective of a cigar smoker, not from the perspective of a cigarette smoker. I've smoked very few cigarettes in my life, and even when I do, I tend to smoke them like cigars. By that, I mean I draw it into my mouth, I swirl it around a little, and then after holding it there for a while, I kick it back out of my mouth. There's no inhaling involved with cigar smoking, and that's basically how I tend to smoke cigarettes. Now, here today I have the rechargeable NJOY traditional flavored e-cigarette and the rechargeable menthol e-cigarette. I also, over there, have a disposable traditional flavor that I picked up the other day just to try it out. So, just real quick, I'll figure I'll give you an example of what a puff would show like, just a standard puff. Not terribly difficult to get vapor production out of this. It's relatively easy to smoke. Easier than a cigar, honestly. And after maybe 10 or 12 puffs, you actually start to feel the nicotine kick, which I absolutely love. See, I smoke full-bodied cigars, so when I smoke a cigar, I smoke it for the kick. I don't smoke it necessarily for the flavor, though a shitty tasting full-bodied cigar is not something I like. I prefer something that has some flavor to it, but it's going to give me that nicotine kick. It does have a decent flavor. They're definitely trying to simulate tobacco, and it doesn't taste like tobacco. It would be like a comparison between watermelon and watermelon candies. You can tell they're trying to simulate it, but it doesn't really taste like it. It's nice. It's a little bit of a sweet flavor, I guess, but it's bearable, enjoyable, I would say. Once you start out. However, one of the problems I had, this is my first actual experience with an e-cigarette, so my very first cartridge, I didn't know when it was empty, and I was only drawing it into my mouth, so I couldn't really tell the flavors too much, as you can when you inhale the vapor. So, what had happened, I don't know if you can see that little hole right there. It actually burned a hole through the plastic, and I found out later that I was smoking part of the plastic because I couldn't tell when it was empty, when I should have stopped. So a little forewarning, their cartridges are plastic, and the plastic will melt if you smoke it too long. So I would advise smoke it a little while. If the vapor production starts to go ridiculously low, or if it starts to taste too much like plastic, stop smoking it. Put a new cartridge in, throw out the old cartridge. They're not worth keeping around. Now, these were relatively cheap. I got them at a Cumberland, or no, at a Stewart's shop. So they're not terribly difficult to come by. You can get them on the internet, I'm sure. I bought one of the starter kits, so they came with this charger. The cool thing about this charger is, a lot of e-cigarettes, from what I've heard, if you plug them in, you can overcharge them and they can explode, or the wiring can fry and whatnot. This is a smart charger. It's a really cheap smart charger, so once it hits maximum charge, it shuts off, doesn't charge anymore. Wonderful little feature. I'm glad they put that in there. Now, I do want to say one thing about those chargers. They may be smart in that they will stop charging the battery when it's charged, but if you hook it up to any sort of an unsecure power source, it doesn't regulate the voltage. So we actually, me and one of my close friends, fried one of these. It got so hot that we started to smell burning plastic. We touched it for a brief instant, and it burned our finger. well, it burned his finger, and then he threw it to the ground real quick, and about 30 seconds later I touched it, and it still at that point it burned my finger. It left him with a blister. It left me with just a red mark, and it did hurt quite badly. So just be sure you're not hooking yours up to any sort of a gaming rig that doesn't have proper coolant, or anything that that could potentially fry your electronics. Don't hook it up to that. They're very fragile, from my experience at least. Now, like I said, I do have the traditional and I do have the menthol. For the menthol, same thing. It's decent of production. And I do want to say something about this. This is like a spandex cauliflower. I can breathe through it. I can drink through it. I have no problems with it. It doesn't really limit any sort of. It doesn't get in the way of the smoke. So I'm just going to continue smoking through this. I've done that numerous times. Now the disposable. This little thing, right now it looks metally. There was like a plastic wrapping on the outside. It looked pretty fancy, a white plastic wrapping. And this was just a traditional one. Now I wanted to say one thing about this. This one, the disposable ones, they really do have a much better draw. They feel more natural than the rechargeable ones. They don't have as much resistance, and see, when you breathe through these, the suction from the air coming back this way turns on the chip in here, which then heats up the atomizer and creates the vapor. With these, it's the same thing, but it doesn't take nearly as much suction to actually get these going. Now, I will say about these, they have one cartridge worth. However, their batteries are shit. I smoked this for maybe 40 minutes, an hour, and it was dead by the end of that 40 minutes hour. Right now there might be some battery power, like I got a little bit of a drag out there, but that's after it died. It's not rechargeable, so anything that I get out of this is just pure luck at this point. So that's why I took it down, just to see what was on the inside, and it's one solid piece of what appears to be aluminum. So you're not getting this open to either refill this or replace the battery. You'd have to completely destroy this. So, I mean, I really don't advise getting those. One of these is half the price of this. I would, if you're going to try it out, maybe go with this. But this with the charger, and with one cartridge, was $20. This was $9. Do not spend $9 on this. You're much better with a pack of cigarettes. Now, I wanted to comment on the menthol flavor real quick, okay? Now, I've smoked menthol cigarettes before, once by mistake. I was having a bad day, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to buy a pack of cigarettes. So I walk in to this guy, and I tell him, just give me the absolute cheapest non-menthol cigarettes you have. Well, he thought I said, give me the cheapest menthol cigarettes you have. So he gave me Pall Mall menthols. I didn't mind them too much, but the only reason I was able to smoke them was because I could still taste the tobacco behind the minty flavor. And what I'll say about these is there's absolutely no tobacco flavor to them. It tastes like you're smoking a cough drop, and that's really unappealing to me. There's absolutely no tobacco flavor. It's just straight up cough drop style, like mint. And to me that was disgusting. So I bought the package with the menthol cartridge in it. I haven't even finished the menthol cartridge. I think it's absolutely rancid. So just a forewarning on that. Now, I'll probably be doing a few reviews in the future. There's two cigars that I'm planning on reviewing. A torch lighter that I had purchased, which I find to be amazing, that I'll probably be reviewing, and the V2 e-cigs I'll probably be reviewing in the near future. And then we'll go from there. I'm Smoking Anarchist. I hope you enjoyed this video review. If If you need to know anything else, just comment and I'll try to answer what I can. Thanks. Bye.